Howdy y'all, Goose here. Today's October 19th, and happy to say, bucked the emotional mistakes I've been making the last 2 days. Took my bread and butter, kind of silver bullet style trade this morning and was able to get a 3R win. Although I did take this in a small size, so didn't, get my normal payout, but now the account is in a lot better shape, getting some cushion over drawdown, and just being able to breathe a little bit. That was the goal. I'm not going to complain. Going over what I saw in the morning, we had a tweezer top on the 3-minute, which I'm going to start marking these because I noticed a few times that I've just missed them because I'm not looking for them actively. A lot of the times on the 3-minute and the 5-minute, these tweezer tops, which I'm marking with these circles now, it's these elongated candles, usually the green followed by a red if it's making its way down. Similarly, it'd be a red followed by a green if it's gonna make its way back up. It's just a good sign of a reversal, basically a reversal in trend. So you can see in pre-market we were in an uptrend ever since the low was put in. So 3-minute uptrend. This forms 6 minutes into market open. We had nice displacement coming down. This is getting into the silver bullet hour, which I outline on my lower time frames. And as we were coming in, I had my fib tool planned out. Our 70.1 level was sitting up here at 15,000. Now the reason that I took NQ also and not ES was just that ES was a little different in structure. Here's the open. So the ES version of the tweezer top didn't quite look as tweezer toppy, and then there was no sweep of the high technically. That's the big reason. So was looking at NQ, had the right structure and setup, sat here at 70.1. Initially, because this is NQ, you can't cut it clean in half, at least for me. Like my regular size is 5 contracts, so I was leaning to do 2. Price started to continue upwards, and where price was to where my stop was up here, I usually go 5 NQ points beyond my 100% mark on the fib. That's kind of my rule. That as price was getting close here, I just thought, you know what, let me tack one on, because that extra bit to stop loss from there wasn't too bad. And if it did hold and turn around, potentially I could cut the trade early. That was my thinking. So rather than waiting for the full 3R level, maybe take it at TP1, just take everything. And that's exactly what I did. So again, live trades are always tacked on to the end of the videos on a winning day. You can go ahead and take a look at there. But I rode these 3 MNQs down and just had a fear that this swing low might hold, because it was also the pre-market low. So that pre-market, well, not the absolute low, but it was a low for a while. That pre-market low kind of technically was swept as well, which makes this whole setup a little lower probability. So another reason to take small size, but I just really wanted to take my shot at this today, and I'm glad I kind of did what I did. Sure, I could have had a little bit more, so I took all 3 out right here at that swing low. We had a little bit more room, probably another 50% I could have gained. After that, I didn't do too much. I think I did some 1 contract MES order block based, like here's one here I marked out, trades on the way up, and that's about it. I was being really, really careful, so I think I added like $20 or $30 in addition to what I got from the first trade. But didn't do anything during J-Pow's speech. Accidentally, almost accidentally, I should say, got into the absolute bottom before we rocketed. And part of this was me losing track that Powell was speaking right then. He wasn't actually speaking. He was just set to speak. So that was kind of bizarre. There was some weird market maker things going on. But yeah, I had I was looking when ES got here, made new lows, and then ended up breaking over the structure that it created with some good displacement. I just marked this out thinking, you know what, if it does pull back, maybe I'll take this. Again, small size, like 2 MES, just because the risk reward was there. And when I got the alert, because I had an alert, I didn't have my actual limit order sitting because, I don't know, I usually just have the alert first. But the alert was, usually I have the alert just under the 50% level, and it hit. The price was moving so fast that I heard it, realized, oh yeah, okay, it's on ES, flip over. Price was hovering right here. Like, I think when I looked at this, it was hovering. But by the time I could, like, mouse over to try and hit the ask, or yeah, I was probably going to hit the ask, not even market, so wouldn't have even gotten filled most likely. But right as I was like making my way to go do it, price just rockets back out, and you can see continues. Normally would not trade anything during a Powell speech, but because it did, because it was sitting right at the level that I had marked out, and I was going to take it really small, I was prepared. I actually did try to take that. I was, willing to lose a good bit of what I had made from the morning to do it. And in the moment, I actually didn't realize that it was Powell. Like, I just totally lost track. So it wasn't until after I missed the run, and I was like looking at, okay, well, what the heck happened? What caused this? I was like, oh, yeah, right, Powell. But there were some trades you could have taken during his speech. I think once I realized it was his speech, I just wanted to sit back for the most part. So, looking on the higher time frame, I'm just going to focus on ES. Both NQ and ES moved in tandem for the most part during his speech, but it it entered this kind of support slash resistance zone that I'll switch this to the daily to kind of show an overview on it, but I've had this marked, for a good little bit, and it's held pretty good. Like, we've seen rejects off of here many, many times the last few days. And now, as we've broken through it, this was our first chance to show resistance from the other side. So it wasn't really a bad place to try shorting. You would have been right in the middle of it. And, if you were using that plus price action, again, you would have needed to be looking at the 1 minute because of how fast price was moving. So not really my style, especially on days like that. But there's some potential that you could have done that. So right here is your 1 minute. You could have, seen the weakness, and maybe on candle close, realize, all right, you know what? We engulfed half of that green. Nice big wick on there. Okay, that's like decent signals. We're also right in the middle of this zone. And let me take it. I did not take this trade, but there was an opportunity there. Now, what I think was a better opportunity was the break of this support that we made. So it's funny if you actually watched or heard about the speech. Like, he didn't start talking, I think, until closer to 20 minutes in. So what happened was there were some protesters that showed up in the beginning, and they just caused a delay. So this kind of was during that time. You can see price makes a new high and then very sharply, starts sweeping down. So the break and retest type of strategy would have worked really well. You would have had to watch the wicks form. You can see here we're kind of starting to break. Then in the next candle would have been going for a retest of that zone. You could have just tried something here with a stop beyond the level, like 43.50, something like that, and targeted the pre-market lows, or even actually probably not pre-market lows. You could have targeted the kind of where we rejected. But again, I didn't take this. There was a setup there. I want to say we got really close to the London session low. You can see over here. You could have even targeted that. I think once maybe you started seeing how strong price was moving, you could have had your stop at break even and just made a decision where to target your take profit. But I didn't do any of that. I just sat back and watched. When we did break lows down here, I was looking at another potential OTE setup, but there was none. That was my day. I hope you guys were able to make some good trades, or at least learn from something I did. I'm going to only be playing my really high probability setups again in the mornings. Let's hopefully get one tomorrow to end the week. And yeah, like I said, I'm only going to be playing half size until I kind of get out of this mess. So anyways, hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and I'll catch y'all tomorrow.